Hello everybody, Captain Kyoraku here, and today we're going to be revealing the top 10. That's right, 10. Zanpakto in Bleach, as voted on by you, Shields of the Soul Society. Just remember, some of your favorite Zanpakto won't make the list. This is just everyone voted for their favorite, and I made a top 10 list out of it. So some really cool Zanpakto, like Soino Shirayuki, may not be on the list. You may disagree with number 1, I know I do. Just remember, post your own opinions in the comments below. I really love to see what your thoughts are on the list. Anyway, let's stop with the bullshit. Number 10. Alright, number 10 will be Kisuke Urahara's Benihime. Yeah, it's a pretty cool one. Surprised it didn't get higher on the list, but hey, remember this is everyone's favorite. You know, it has some really cool abilities in Shikai, including negating an attack. It completely negated, I think it was Yami's, was it Sero or Bala? I don't know, it was something like that. He specifically said Doom Blast in the manga, so I think that's Sero. Yeah, and really cool Bankai. You know, we didn't see much of it. It was only one chapter, but again, it's Urahara's Bankai. I don't think anyone would last an entire chapter against that, even asking. You know, only thing I don't like about it is that, you know, it was a bit rushed. You know, again, Kubo was being pretty rushed. But yeah, really cool, unique powers. Can't complain that made the list. Really, all I have to say about it, except it was kind of interesting in his Bankai. You know, immediately when he went on Bankai, he completely opened up Askin's arm. You know, unfortunately, the volume of that hasn't come out in America yet. But literally, he zipped open Askin's arm, you know, opening up. Why didn't you do more of that? You know, yeah, he said, like, Askin got out of range of that. You got in range, like, in the next panel. Why couldn't you keep on trying to rip apart Askin? That would be pretty cool. You know, you shouldn't even need Grimjo. You know, you can just rip him apart. You know, Grimjo already got his kill with Kurhei, or Quilhei, or, I don't know, whatever the... How the hell you pronounce his name, this guy? But anyway, I digress. Yeah, number 10. Benihime, definitely a well-deserved spot. Probably should be a lot higher, but what can you do? Alright, number 9 is Wabisuke. Yeah, I agree. It's a pretty damn interesting ability, especially considering how everyone uses either a sword or a gun or some kind of, you know, weaponry. You know, doubling the weight, you know, just hit it a couple of times, boom, it's unusable. You know, you have people like, probably Byakuya and Matsumoto who can transform it, you know, into like an ash, like it's so light, you know, and they don't directly control it, where they can get around this, you know, which is how Rangiku beat Yuzuru. But yeah, any other major opponents, like, you know, hell, even some of the Espada probably can't hold a candle to it, you know. You know, if he used it against, I'd say maybe Yami before his release, Iron Yarrow. Yeah, I'd say probably those two. You know, he actually might be able to take him out. You know, it would be difficult. Plus, he'd probably have to do a sneak attack, so maybe an attack battle user would be really useful. But yeah, I think. Oh, Noitora would also be a really good one to fight against. You know, considering how fast Grimjo is, Grimjo might be able to take a couple of hits from it. But yeah, Wabisuke is really cool. Also, something very interesting. Kubo actually said in an interview when he was asked about Izuru's Bankai, and he doesn't want to think about it because of how grotesque or morbid or depressing it would be. So it'd be really cool if we got to see it. Of course, we didn't. Maybe he used it against Lille if he has it. What happened to that? I'd like to know. But of course, series is over. We can't really complain about that. But yeah, definitely. Izuru definitely deserves this spot. Wabisuke is a really cool weapon. Wish we got to see a little bit more of it, but you know. What we got in the series, you know, his fight against Matsumoto, Armyara Redder. We didn't get anything, you know, we had parts of his fight with Lille, like the very first part where he basically says, "What's up, Lille?" It has an awesome panel of him, like with that giant whole bass we gave him, you know, seeing the moon behind that, you know, that was really cool. But, you know, we got to see really cool abilities, you know, him cutting off Redder's head. Really cool. Deserves number 9. Alright, number 8 is Ajisoki Jizo. Probably one of the most unique Zanpakto, because we get the most some of the more abilities. You know, 3 on the list: Benihime, Ajitsuki Juzo, and one that'll be later on. It has a lot more abilities than the simple does one more thing. You know, added like Wabisuke, for example. And that's something I really like. And it's Shikai. It specifically is able to paralyze an opponent. Also able to send out like a sonic-based attack they used against Kenpachi to take him out. You know, for his own good, but you know he got a lot of pleasure out of that. Against Pranaya, that actually took him down. You know, he has a bunch of other abilities of that, and his Bankai is able to control all manner of poison, able to change that whenever he wants. So no one can get used to it like Uryu thought he did again when he was had a delay effect against Sile. He also has that Baby's able to eat his opponents, which he used against Sile and Pranaya, which didn't work either time, but still able to do that. Then we got his, I don't even want to describe it. Baby form, I don't have the official translation of it. You know, the volume hasn't come out yet, but basically like a giant baby that gave birth via C-section to another Konjiki Achisoki Jizo that was able to had so many nerves, bare skin through layers, that was in a constant state of perpetual agony. The fuck, Bo. Just the fuck. Like, holy shit. It's also really cool because you specifically see him, you know, saying it's able to, you know, read any information comes in and able to change it. So it could, if it's against Yamamoto, for example, or Ishin, it might be a water base, you know, in order to counteract their fire. If it's against Toshiro, it might be a fire-based Konjiki Atsukijo. That's really cool. It's adaptive. That's probably why I think a lot of people like it, and it lands its place on the list. Probably not as high as it should be, you know, not as many votes as it should be, but anyway, yeah, Shisoki Jizo number 8, a well-deserved spot indeed. Alright, number 7 is Kazeshine. Sorry, I don't actually have the manga of them, I just have the triple volume. But yeah, definitely a really cool looking Zanpakto. Really, you know, it has a Bankai, which, you know, I've already given my theories about in group. You know, I think it's to be 2 giant shurikens, change his personality, stuff like that. Really cool looking. It absolutely dominated some people. Granted, next scene it got immediately dominated by Alon, but what can you do? Yeah, again, really cool. You know, really fits his owner, like in terms of style. One of the cooler looking ones, and it's one of the few. People say it's one of the few dual bladed. That's not true because they're connected by a chain. That's something I like to point out. Yes, you can argue that Ukitake's was, but you have to remember, like, it was like a chain in between the 2 swords. When the weapon Shuhei uses is made to have the 2 chains, to use the chains. You know, you can separate the swords from Ukitake, and yeah, you won't be able to use that ability. You can still use it, but separate the charge from Shuhei won't be as useful. But yeah, number 7 spot, definitely well deserved. Not much for me to say about this, except he looks cool. I wish he'd use it more often, like effectively. Maybe it had a few more abilities, but you know, it has an unpredictable style. Again, really cool looking. I think that's why most of the list, because it just looks so awesome. It has one of the best soundtracks for the release. Most people call it Fade to Black because that's what most people associate it with, or Shuhei vs. Spindor because that's where it's most famously used. But it's actually called BA13, one of the best soundtracks in Bleach, in my opinion. You know, behind some of the sad songs. You know, probably one of the best epic soundtracks in Bleach. Definitely hope if the anime returns, or even if the live-action movie actually uses some of the soundtracks, we get to hear it again. Anyway, on to number 6. Alright, number 6 is Senbon Sakura. Honestly, I thought it would be a lot higher on the list, and I think it deserves to be higher. But hey, you know, I'm kind of glad it didn't mirror the favorite characters poll, where it landed number 1 by far. Wait, no, actually it was only by 3 votes, but still. Yeah, honestly, pretty pretty deserving of his spot. You know, Shikai is, you know, a couple thousand blades. Bankai's a couple million blades. You know, like I said, one of my favorite scenes in Bleach. It's just him releasing his Bankai, and you just know Renji is fucked from 16 different directions. Like, there's not even a chance. You know, he has quite a few cool abilities to it. Senkei, Gokei, Shuke Haku Tenken, and Senkei's secret technique within it. Also able to counteract his own weakness of the safety zone by just grabbing it and ramming it right through Shukishima. One of my favorite kills in Bleach. Yeah, not much to say about this one. Just really epic. Has some of the best soundtracks whenever it's released. And it really did damage on its own user, which, by the way, yes, he was supposed to die there. Fangirls run back, which, considering how he didn't really do anything besides he off-screened 3-stunner, I think it was Robert Acatron, which I'm pissed about considering how strong Robert actually was. Candace Catnip, and someone else. I forget who the third one who off-screen him is. You know, please tell me that in the comments. But yeah, Senbon Sakura, definitely a well-deserved spot. Probably should be higher, but yeah, awesome. Alright, top 5, folks. The 5th most popular Zanpakto is Suzume Bachi. And yeah, I'm not a big fan of Soifone. I've said before, I don't like her treatment of Omaida. I don't like Omaida, but I just lay off him, how he treats him. But her Zanpakto is pretty amazing. Shikai's a 2-hit kill unless you have eyes and level plot armor. And Bankai's a freaking nuke. Not much to say about it. That's just epic. I really don't have that much to say. Wish it had a few more abilities than Shikai, but again, makes up for it by having a nuke. Just wish BG9 would have used the nuke on Omaida, or maybe used his minigun, but that's another rant. Use a nuke, just blew up Omaida. Soifone still didn't use a nuke back. It wouldn't have changed the story at all if Omaida died. Why couldn't you do it? Just let BG9 use the nuke. That would have been amazing. But yeah, Suzume Bachi has a nuke. That's really all I can say. Also, it was pretty funny in the Zanpakto filler arc. A lot of people found Suzume Bachi a tad annoying. I found her pretty funny, at least in Japanese version. English version, the voice kind of grayed a little bit. But yeah, Suzume Bachi number 5, well earned. Alright, number 4, Zabimaru. Yeah, pretty cool. The first Shikai and Zanpakto name we've ever learned in the series. One of the 3 that we've seen the Zanpakto spirits in canon besides Ichiko and Shunsui. But yeah, really cool. Saw-like blade and a snake Bankai. His true Bankai, So Zabimaru, is really epic. Really dominated Mask, who dominated Kensei and Rose at the same time. Yeah, not much to say about it. Just really cool. Wish we got to see a little bit more of So Zabimaru being used. Maybe, except for that one time. Same with Rukia's Bankai. Same complaint. Pretty much the only complaint about her Bankai. But yeah, just really well deserving of the spot. Really cool. That's really what a lot of the Shikai would say. Before So Zabimaru, I'd say he's not deserving of the list, but after So Zabimaru, I'd say so, because remember, it was pretty much exactly what Sal said. It's just a power-based Zanpakto, not much to it. Which is my complaint of Zanpakto a little bit higher up in the list. But yeah, definitely really cool, deserving the list. Maybe not above like Benihime or stuff like that, but really cool Bankai. He deserves this spot. Alright, top 3, everybody. Alright, for our 3rd spot, it is, yeah, you guessed it, Kyoraku Getsu. Like I said, probably one of the most OP abilities, just able to completely hypnotize everyone. It's able to take out some of the biggest players in the Bleach universe. Soifone, Shunsui, Shinji, Toshiro, all taken out with Kyoraku Getsu. Even able to fool Yamamoto, but Yamamoto wasn't able to get around it just because he's, freaking Yamamoto. Really defending his own rate. Why wouldn't have been as useful in OP if it was, in fact, Aizen was a genius. It was even able to fool Barragan, probably one of the most OP of all the Espada. Again, would love to see his Bankai, but we didn't get that. I wish that was kind of used along with the arrow. to kind of defeat you all, but it didn't work. But hey, Kogatsu Gutsu actually was able to very easily affect Yuha even when he absorbed Soul King, so that just shows how powerful that thing is. The only way to get around it, as Gin said, is to touch it before he releases it. Which took quite a few years to get that weakness out of him, which just shows how cool Gin is, which he made the list, but But yeah, Kogatsu Yetsu, definitely deserving of the spot. Hope the data book or maybe a sequel series, if that ever comes out after a live action movie, reveals what his Bankai is. But yeah, Kogatsu Yetsu, definitely deserving of that spot. Alright, number 2 in my favorite Zanpakto, Katen Kokotsu. I don't really have a volume cover with Sui on it, which is a rant I have, so I guess I'll just use Yamamoto because he fought him that one time. There's none with Stark, and the one with Lily hasn't come out yet. So yeah, you'd think that Shunsui being how big of a deal he is in the universe, being the next Captain America, you'd think you'd have a volume cover. Frickin' Ganju had a volume cover before Shunsui. I'm just not even gonna bother at this point. Oh wait. There we go. Yeah. So yeah, one of the most diverse ones, my favorite. Children games reality, Bankai is pretty OP unless you're literally a freaking god made of light. You would die. Fun fact, Kubo even mentioned in an interview that he had the potential to beat Aizen. I'm thinking probably Aizen before Mugen, like if he used Fake Hardcore time before all that stuff, cut his head off. That's probably the one he was talking about. I don't think God Aizen would be able to do that. Plus, Aizen's not stupid enough to let Shunsui go into his final dawn. So yeah, really cool abilities. Takaone, just be above your opponent. Your Oni, you hit white. Curious. It does a lot more damage, which deals with damage reduction and amplification, which is an OP ability just in itself. You have his discount set Shadow Clone Jutsu, which I found was pretty hilarious. Especially when he literally had like 8 clones around him. I think everyone made that joke. But yeah, Shunsui honestly deserves this spot. I personally think he deserved number 1, but hey, a certain someone I'm pretty sure you can guess just edged him out actually by a lot, like 4 votes. But yeah, Katen Kokotsu, my favorite Zanpakto, lands number 2. But before we get to number 1, I'll quickly go over our honorable mentions. Alright, our first honorable mention is Kenpachi's Nozarashi. Again, pretty cool. Didn't really get to see much of it in the series, but it took out a freaking meteor. Beast, probably the best feat. Again. Oh wait, I was wrong. I recorded this after I made the number one spot video, so I will be incorrect in that, just so you know. But yeah, it was also the 4th one was Yachiro under Kenpachi, or eventually was known as Nozarashi. So I apologize for that in advance. I am wrong in the next spot, so just bear that in mind. All right. Next big honorable mention is Shinso. Really cool Zanpakto. Has probably one of the most OP techniques, being Kill Kamishina no Yara, which is revealed in this one, where it basically atomizes him. If Aizen didn't have that little magical wish ball, Gin would have killed him. If he would have done that, like say, right while he's doing the subterfuge, he's doing that big speech, kill Kamishina no Yari. Boom. That's all it would have taken. But hey, Aizen has the plot armor and a magical wish ball, so. Alright, another honorable mention is Gonru Maru. Pretty cool Bankai. I don't have a manga cover with him, unfortunately. Same with the next honorable mention being Muramasa. Really cool arcs centered around him. A lot of people wish it wasn't filler, similar to the Regai arc. which is why I don't mind the Bleach filler, just because they are really good. Ramoso is very interesting, cool abilities, definitely deserving a list. But our last honorable mention and the honorary number 11 spot is Yorimaru. Now, he actually got the same number of official votes that Benihime got. However, Benihime got more people saying it's either this or Benihime, so I decided to edge it out, give it to Benihime. That's what happened there. But yeah, Yorimaru honestly does deserve a high spot. It has a really cool abilities. It's an ice-type Zanpakto. Maybe not quite as interesting ice-based abilities as some of the others, but between the two ice-type Zanpakto, I really hate this bell. I need to get this fixed. But yeah, between two ice-type Zanpakto, it is honestly the more powerful one. I think it's kind of the same like with Ishin and Yamamoto. Maybe this is a little bit more unstable and able to do a little bit more of an OP ability. But this one overall is a lot more powerful. You have free use of pretty much all water in the heavens. Has some pretty cool abilities. And, you have Toshiro going into his adult form, which, like I said, in the top 10 characters, I really enjoyed. Would like to know how exactly that worked, him turning into adult. Like, his Zanpakuto reaches full maturity. How does that make him an adult? I would like an explanation on that, but, yeah, we're never going to answer that. But, yeah, honestly, I feel like Kyorimaru deserves to be somewhere, so, yeah. Number 11, Kyorimaru. On to number 1. I really don't think he deserves this spot. But I do understand where you're coming from, and I'll mention that. Number 1 spot is Zangetsu. I'm only showing him because we thought for the longest time this was Zangetsu, but yeah, Zangetsu, number 1. Yeah, really cool character in terms, but let's just take aside like how Zangetsu is as a character, because I think that should be why he ranks so high. But let's just talk about his abilities just as a Zanpakuto. Getsuga Tensho, a few one-offs of the same thing. Woo. Like, that's something that's like a major complaint I have, is that it's just one ability and a few one-offs. Yeah, he had Grand Racer Getsuga, only used it once. Getsuga Jujisho, only used it once. Wano Getsuga Tensho, only used it once. Gekka Tensho might have been a translation error, but if it wasn't, used it only once. We didn't even get to see it. Come on. It's all variations of the same thing. Like, Getsuga Jujisho is just a X-shaped Getsuga. We all thought he'd do that, like, the instant he got 2 swords. But anyway, I really do like him as a character. And his relationship with Ichigo is one of the most unique out of all of them. Also, he's one of the three characters, as I said, we got to see the Zanpakuto spirits in canon. First one we actually saw was Old Man Zangetsu. This one, who eventually turned out to be his Quincy powers. Next one was that Zangetsu? Yeah, I think it was this Zangetsu against his fight against Kenpachi, but at that time he thought that the old man Zangetsu, I'll just call him Ichigo's Quincy powers at this point because that's confusing to say. He just thought it was just a color swap. We didn't know what he was until we learned he was the Hollow Powers. Then we learned he was the Hollow Powers and Zangetsu, which turns out he revealed way early on, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, I think it's mostly just... And the other one was Renji next. Then we saw Shunsui way later on during his fight with Lily and his Bankai. I think those were the only 3 characters we've ever seen their Zanpakuto spirits in canon for. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, definitely really cool as a character. I don't think he deserves number 1 as like I said, just because of his abilities, but as a character goes, he definitely deserves should be high on the list, in my opinion. So yeah, as voted by Shoujo Society, Zangetsu is our number 1 Zanpakto in the entire Bleach series. Alright, everyone, that is our list for today. Just remember the announcement. I'm not going to make a separate video on this. You probably saw a bunch of reviews, a million times better than me. James Hansen, King of Lightning, Tekken 101 event when that comes out. So I won't make an actual review on it. Maybe some other captains will, but special announcements like Bleach live action movie, that does not cancel out the fact that we might get to see our favorite characters again in a sequel or in the anime. So remember that. But yeah, definitely a pretty cool poll. I'll do some more in the future. I'm currently doing our favorite Espada poll. I decided to add Nell just because of how popular she was. So that will be done soon, and I will, just comment some other polls you think I should do. I was thinking maybe top 10 Stern Ritter, maybe something like that. Maybe get some Ask and Love up in there. But yeah, just comment some suggestions you want me to do, and say how you like this video. Did you like this? Would you like me to try to force TJ to do more of the poll reveals than me? Let me know. Anyway, this is Captain Kyoraku signing out.